So here I want to show my CSB Legacy Note-Taking Bible, Christian Standard Bible, CSB. This is my favorite journaling Bible that I have right now. I've had this for a couple of years. I wanted to show how I have been using it. Legacy Note-Taking Bible. I have not done much with Genesis yet. However, I do have some notes here in Exodus, where I've looked over some passages of scripture there. Where I have really done a ton of work is in the Psalms. And let me go to that real fast here, the Psalms. So here is where I have a whole bunch of notes. And here in the Psalms, sorry, I'll adjust my camera real quick there. I have these notes here. I try to write as much as I can, whatever that the Spirit gives me. I separate out passage here of what stood out to me. Here we are looking at Psalm 29, the power and majesty of God. I have notes written on the top margin here, obviously here on the lines, as well as in the inner margins over here. Let's see, joy greater than weeping. I have that there. I have here how God is our refuge. He is our rock as well as our fortress. I have things that just have stood out to me in this passage. And as I turn the page here, I have other notes, stuff I've written. One thing that I learned was to date when you write your notes. So this is from June 28th of 2022. That's when I wrote all this here. And it helps to date stuff because it helps me, at least, to just know where I was at, what I was feeling, what I was doing, what state of mind I was in, what was going on in my life at that time that made me write these notes here. And then I can go to another Bible, and if I've gone over the same passage of scripture, in this case Psalm 32, and I write maybe something else, a different kind of reflection, or whatever it is that the Spirit gives me, and kind of date that, and then I can go back and see, well, where was I in my life at that point? Here are other things that I have circled or that I made lines around of things that would stand out to me. Here in reflecting on the word Selah or Salah, however you want to say it, or Selah, is pause and reflect. Pause and reflect on these truths. And I have more notes here. Also a prayer. I took out a very big lined sticky note here, and I included this here. I don't know if I used glue or not, but I have this attached to the sheet here. I have all this that I've written here, as well as in the inner margins. Here is a note. I set aside a sheet of lined paper, made sure I measured it out so it fits in the Bible, and then I used a glue stick, and I just glued it onto the page, so then it's right there with the Bible. It does not stick out at all. So that's good. Have that. I did the same thing here. I have this page. I have it glued on. So it's right there with the notes. It's not on a separate piece of paper or on a separate notebook, but I have it here. There's also a prayer here that I recorded, and I wrote the date of when I wrote that prayer, July 3rd of 2022. So I have a prayer here that goes along with this passage of what just came to my mind and what God put in my heart on that day when I was reading that passage of scripture. I have more notes here. I have these notes, and then of what jumps out to me: turn away from evil, do good. Refuge and deliverance, prayer of suffering, prayer of the suffering sinner. Here's another sticky note I have attached here. This is just a note on this passage here of Psalm 40, verse 9. Here, another idea was that I typed up these notes. I knew that it was going to be more than I was going to write, so I typed these up. And what I did was I took the sheet, taped it at the very top here. So I just put a piece of tape, I put tape here, and then tape over the paper. So then now it kind of opens up as a flap, and then I could still see the passage of scripture here. I have these notes. Psalm 41. And I dated this as well, July the 13th. So these are just ideas and stuff that I have been able to use and implement for my Bible journaling experience. As you can see here, I've just done a lot in the Psalms. Wrote all this here at some other point in time. If I come back to this passage in this Bible, I have more free space here that I can work on. It's another paper. So I've attached all these. I just took a glue stick. I know some people, they're able to fold the edge of the paper, kind of fold that, glue on one side, and just stick it on one sheet of paper. Others, I believe, they just glue along the end of a paper and they just kind of stick it in the margin here, in the bind, and it still will stay on. But yes, just wanted to show of how I have used this Bible. It's just been so beneficial. It's been so great. I am very thankful for this Bible, for what I am able to use it for, all the notes that I am able to just write down, everything that I am able to record, record the date that I wrote it. It's just been great. It's been awesome. It's been a blessing. I am very thankful to have this journaling Bible. This is just one of several journaling Bibles that I have. And yes, I try to write as much as I can in every passage of Scripture, in my daily devotionals, in my daily Bible readings and studies. And I hope that this is helpful to someone out there, just some ideas of how to use these journaling Bibles. This is just how I use it. Again, whatever the Lord leads you to do, and how to just make the most use out of the Bible that you can, because that's what it's about. It's not just reading it, but it's just trying to reflect on the Word, to think about it. What does it feel to you? What is it that God is speaking to you? And just trying to get as much of the Word as we can. All right, so take care and God bless.